And here we go. So the question here reads, what was the total cost? So that right there is what we're looking for. Regardless of, what the information says, we really want to focus on the total cost. So let's go through everything and, let's really just take this one step at a time. So this says that event catering follows the equation D equals 20x plus 12y plus 5z, where D is the total cost in dollars. Oop, right there. Right there. Notice what it says. We're looking for the total cost. And right here it says that D is the total cost in dollars. So immediately I'm feeling pretty good about that because I have pointed out what I am trying to find at the end of the day. I should feel pretty good about that. So now that I know this, let's read through the other pieces of information. That way we can plug everything into the right place. So again, we are looking for D, which is the total cost. Let's write that out. D equals 20x plus 12y plus 5z. We also see that it says X is the number of adult meals, and here it says 18 adult meals. Here it says Y is the number of child meals, 15 child meals. And Z is the number of drink tickets, 20 drink tickets were provided. So from visual mapping, we can see exactly what we need to replace each variable with. 20 is adult tickets, boom. X is adult tickets, and we have 18 of those, so I'll replace X with 18. Next, I see that Y is the number of child tickets. I got 15 child meals. Y gets replaced with 15. Same thing with Z. Z over here, let me just change colors. Z is going to be defined as the number of drink tickets, and we have 20 drink tickets provided. So that will be replaced with 20. As long as you place the numbers in the right spots, your calculation will absolutely be correct, no matter what. So here we go. D equals 20 times 18. 12 multiplied by 15. And then 5 multiplied by 20. If you accomplish this, boom, you're good to go moving forward. Let's get it done. So first thing, I'm going to pick the easy, low-hanging fruit. 5 multiplied by 20, that'll give us 100. So I'll just write that out right there, super quick. And then we have 20 times 18 and 12 times 15. So let's go ahead and start with the 20 times 18. So we can do some mental math here if we wanted to, because everybody think about it. What is 2 times 18? What is 2 times 18 going to be? Not 20, but 2. 2 multiplied by 18, that'll end up being 36. Now, everybody, quick question. When we are multiplying by a number that ends in 0, we can ignore that 0, do 2 times 18 is 36, but what do we do with that 0 at the end? What do we do with that 0 at the end? Yeah, we'll add it back at the end. We'll place it at the end. So that would give us 360. Again, 18 times 2 is 36. And then that 0, we can tack it on at the end. So that'll be 360. And then for the 12 times 15, we can do a little bit of mental math there as well. Because we can think about this as 15 times 10 and 15 times 2. Again, this is a split and glue technique that we go over plenty of times in those math fundamentals. So we got to make sure we head over there after this if you need to. But here, 15 times 10 is 150. 15 times 2 is 30. Everybody, 150 plus 30. That's going to give us 180. From here, what we need to do this final addition, and we're all done. Let's do 360 plus 180. 360, 180, add those together. We'll have 0, 14, and then we have 5. But we're not done. 540, we're almost there. We just have to add the extra 100. 540 plus 100, that's going to give us 640, everybody. And that's why the correct answer for this particular practice problem is going to be A, 640. All right, new problem, but we are going to follow the same paradigm. We are going to read the question first. The question sentence. How long does the trip take? Now, when we read this, we're saying how long does this take? So that's a time period, but we want to be specific because I notice that we're talking about this cyclist that rides at this distance at this pace, and then they do another distance at a different pace. So notice how we have two separate events. So if we're talking about how long the trip took overall, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the time spent on this highlighted part here, the 18 miles at 12 miles an hour, and we want to add that with the time taken for this part of the trip, 18 miles an hour or 18 miles at 9 miles per hour. So that's what I'll do here. I'll set this up so I can find the individual times, because when I add up the times for each part, I'll get the time taken for the trip. So here we go. We are going to find the time over here for part 1 with the distance rate time formula. The distance is 18 miles and the rate was 12 miles per hour. So now to get the time by itself, we'll move forward to dividing both sides by 12. Once we do that, it cancels on the right, and then we'll proceed to get this done with some long division. So I'll do that right over here. 12 goes into 18, and I have a feeling that we'll have a decimal because it doesn't go in cleanly. So I'll have a decimal there, and I'll add those zeros just in case. So 12 doesn't go into 1, but it does go into 18 just once. So then 1 times 12 is going to be 12, and we subtract that, getting 6 left over. We'll drop the 0, and now we have 12 going into 60. So from here, 12 goes into 60 how many times, my friends? Yeah, that'll be 5. Booyah right there. 1.5 hours, is going to be the time spent for the first part. Do we agree, yes or no, before I continue to getting to that second part? Good. I'm glad that we agree. So let's go ahead now, move this out of the way. I'll probably just throw this in the corner over here. Right there. And then we will proceed to writing out the time for the second part. So we have part 2. Same thing. Distance equals rate times time. And I noticed that the distance that we covered here, again, was 18 miles. And then we were going 9 miles per hour for this second part. So we'll divide both sides by the 9 miles an hour, canceling out on the left side, or the right side, giving us 2 left over for t. So there it is. We have 2 hours for that second part, 1.5 hours for the first part. When we add these two together, will give us 1.5 plus 2 equals 3.5 hours. And there we are, my party people. That is what's going to give us answer choice D as the correct answer. And we're all good with a problem that seemed complicated at first.